Hello, everyone. Jen B here, Shining Monarch. I am coming to you today with a message I wasn't expecting to bring, but it's always, guided by Great Spirit Creator. And today is the National Day of the Horse. Today is December 13th, 2025. December 13th is always recognized as the National Day of the Horse. And so honoring our beautiful horse relatives, honoring the heritage of the horse, and honoring those ancestors, all our ancestors of the horse nation. And horses have always played a big part in my life. Ever since I was little, when I could walk out the back door, I jumped on the horse bareback, rode horse with no saddle, no reins, just grabbed onto the mane and just went. If I fell off, I got right back on. I had my feet stepped on, but I still got right back on. And I just knew in my blood, I just knew in my heart and soul that I could ride. I knew how to ride before I could ride. I rode horse before I could ride, before I even knew. So I grew up with horses. My mom had a beautiful paint horse, big horse. Her name was Rainbow. She was a paint horse. And when my horse Cherokee came, and I saw him, he saw me, it looked exactly like Rainbow. Paint horse. His mom is half Mustang, so put him as half Mustang. Cherokee's mom's grandmother was full Mustang. She even had the official stamp that they give them on her neck, and so his grandma was full Mustang, his mom half Mustang, and then he was half Mustang. He has a sister who would be half sister, half Mustang, and then I have a horse. If you remember the movie Hidalgo, and that line of bloodline horse, the bloodline of that horse there, from the Blackjack Mountains there. That line is from the Hidalgo era, and then POA, Beautiful Little Ponies of America, and she's a Spitfire. She's the runner. You get on that little pony and she goes. And my children all knows how to ride horse, and so we were asked to do some cattle drives, and that little pony. There was a bull one time, and that little pony didn't back down. She went right up against that bull. So, the horses, are one of our biggest teachers. They can sense you before you even walk into their area. Horses, they're the beautiful, mystical, magical, being. Just getting on and riding, and they're the best. They're good for therapy. Therapy horses are really good therapy horses. So in honor of the horse and stuff today, I just wanted to bring. I was drawn today. I was going through some totes and stuff, and I came across this book called "Visions of the Buffalo People," as told by Linda Little Wolf. So this is the book. Visions of the Buffalo People as told by Linda Little Wolf. And I'm drawn to books. I get drawn to books, and sometimes when I'm drawn to a book, it's just to read a passage, to read a chapter. Sometimes I don't even read the book, and to me, this is the reason why I get drawn to books and may not read the book at the time, is because for some reason later on I come across it, and it is meant for that moment. So I have not read this book. I've only, when I probably first bought it, I flipped through it, and I bought this book, I believe it was back in 2021. So I picked up this book, I flipped through it, I think, and then the next thing, I've never read it. And so today I was going through stuff. Today is the National Day of National Horse, and I come across it, and there's a reason for everything. There's never, everything is always meant in the time that is meant. And so to honor the horse, I have right over here you see the two horses there. That was my dad's. When he was in high school, I was told my dad gave that to me. He gifted that to me a while back, and my dad he was around horses and stuff. My mom was big with horses a lot. She loved horses too. All my family, we had my family, we always had horses. So, and then I have over here my buffalo right here, my buffalo robe. So honoring our four-legged relatives, because we are all related. So I found out when I was looking at this book here. So this book is by Linda Littlewolf, and so she enjoys sharing her proud heritage of Cherokee and Lakota Sioux. So Cherokee and Lakota Sioux, which is interesting. My horse is Cherokee, which we ride together in spirit world. He is in that spirit world, but all his mom and everyone is still here with us. So I want to bring you the honoring of our ancestors of the horse, and there is the section in here called the horse in North America. So bringing you this little story here. So the Spanish explorer Coronado brought horses to North America on his ships in 1541. It was not the first time there had been horses on the Great Plains. The horse was coming home. The horse is coming home. The horse originated on the North American continent nearly 60 million years ago. The oldest equine ancestor was called Eohippus, the dawn horse. The true horse we know today as Equus colobus lived on the Great Plains almost 1 million years ago. No one can say exactly why the horse disappeared from North America. It happened about 10,000 years ago. It may have been a result of the Ice Age. But before the horse disappeared from North America altogether, a number of horses managed to migrate to Asia over the land bridge, and that connected the two continents at that time. The presence of Europeans in North America had a great impact upon the native people of the Great Plains. The first instrument of change was the gun. The Spanish colony established in New Mexico forbade the trading of guns or horses to native people. Yet the Spaniards had the local Pueblo people work with their horses, and they began to acquire horsemanship skills. For nearly 100 years, only a few stray and stolen horses found their way into the hands of the Plains Indians. In 1680, an uprising by the native Pueblo Indians drove the Spaniards out of the area temporarily. This left large herds of horses available for the Plains Indians. Among the earliest native people to take advantage of the horse were the Apache, living in the Arkansas Valley. The Apache traded regularly with the Pueblo, so they were able to acquire both horses and horsemanship techniques. Through stealing and intertribal trading, horses quickly spread across the Great Plains. By the 1700s, both the Pawnee and the Wichita had horses. By 1750, the Blackfeet in Canada were fully mounted. By 1770, the horse reached the Sioux in western Minnesota. These native peoples rode their mounts with such skill and ease, Europeans were convinced that they must have been riding for centuries. The horse transformed the nomads of the Great Plains into culture of great abundance. Hunters could now pursue the buffalo on horseback. This allowed them to hunt further from the camp and more effectively than on foot. Horses permitted 2 to 3 mounted hunters to kill enough buffalo to provide meat to feed an extended family for a week. With the horse replacing the dog as a pack animal, other things changed for the Plains tribes. A horse could pull a travois of 300 pounds. This allowed the nomads to carry larger supplies of food and retain more personal possessions. Teepees were also larger because the horse travois was made with much longer poles. The horse helped the tribe move as much as 40 miles each day. Because of its importance as a pack animal, the horse was called Shunatanka, meaning big dog or great dog. Shunatanka, also meaning mystery dog or mystery dog, mysterious dog. The wide sea of prairie grass provided a constant food supply for their horses. With new prosperity with both the horse population and human population increased. Intertribal trading grew and flourished. Life had never been so good on the Great Plains. And there's beautiful pictures in here. Just want to let you know. These pictures of the tribes on the plains. Unfortunately, the introduction of the horse also became a major reason for conflict for the Plains Indians. The combination of the horse and the recent acquisition of guns made buffalo hunting easier than it had ever been. Because food was more abundant, the hunters had much more free time. Hunters used this newly found freedom to plan, make, and celebrate warfare. Raids against other peoples would often bring more horses into the tribe. The horse became an important symbol of wealth. Stealing a horse from another tribe was considered an honorable activity. The horse blood brother. And there's this beautiful picture here. Long ago, my ancestors first gazed upon this great beast, and we named him Shunka Tonka. Sorry, I have to get used to pronouncing that. Shunka Tonka, the great dog. Other men called him Horse. Once we climbed upon his strong back, our lives were forever changed. So just think going from hunting buffalo on foot, running after these buffalo. And the way they hunted buffalo was back then, they drove them off the cliffs, over a cliff and down into a like a sinkhole kind of area. So now with the horse, think of how much easier it was to go and acquire food and to hunt the buffalo. His beauty captivated us. His intelligence inspired us. His athletic ability amazed us. We were then touched by his spirit, his keen sensitivity, overwhelmingly loyalty, and purity of heart. The Indian and the horse established a bond of brotherhood. As the Europeans struggled to tame the American West, the Indian struggled to keep his hunting ground and home. If not for the horse, the Plains Indians would never have survived the invasion of the Europeans. With the horse came the golden era of the horse. With the horse came the golden era of the horse, changing the lives of the buffalo people forever. Horses were much more than beasts of burden to the Plains Indians. The special relationship between Indians and their horses was based upon trust, loyalty, and respect. European settlers watched with amazement as the Plains Indians became one of the world's greatest horse cultures. The lifelong partnership between a Plains Indian and a horse began at an early age. An infant traveled in a baby cradle attached securely to its mother's saddle. The great animal's strength and rhythm gently rocked the baby to sleep. Young children helped care for their family's horses. They helped make horse equipment, watched horses in training, learned and practiced riding. Plains Indian children were accomplished riders by the time they were 12. All horsemanship skills were learned by both boys and girls. These skills were especially important for the young boys. They were destined to be the next generation of buffalo hunters and warriors. A horse was not only reliable transportation for the Plains Indians, he was an ally on the hunt and a trusted comrade in battle. A horse trained for the buffalo hunt was not used for any other purpose. This animal was a hunter's most prized possession. A buffalo horse, or runner, was typically a young horse, around 4 years old. The chosen horse was the peak of its speed and stamina. The runner needed the ability to sprint over both long and short distances. He also needed the intelligence to learn quickly and respond to subtle commands. Imagine the courage required maneuvering through a panicked herd of stampeding buffalo, facing an animal as huge and fierce as the buffalo without shying away. And this just reminds me of that beautiful little POA horse, Snowflake. She, POA, so POA, Ponies of America, they are a special breed. They can only be so many hands high to be considered a Ponies of America horse. Her speed, her agility, and she had like her fierceness. Like she went up after this bull on a cattle drive, you know. And my daughters and my sons, they all ride. But my daughter that was riding her that day, they are one. Like one with you have to be one with your horse. One, you have to be connected. You know, because you have to trust the horse. The horse has to trust you. And going up after that that bull, I mean, just watching that was just amazing. That little horse, she took it on, and so did Sasha. Sasha's Cherokee's mom. Again, just them horses. They are. When you're one and you're riding one and one with that horse, and you're on a cattle drive, it's just amazing, you know, what they can do, their maneuverability, and so just amazing, you know. And so just going back and thinking of this, you know, on this buffalo hunt here, if you take a look at that, you know, so the runner was carefully trained and pampered. He was fed the finest of grasses. During the hot summer months, he was bathed in cool water. During the cold winter months, he was warmed with buffalo robes. While the other horses grazed peacefully near the outskirts of the camp, the runner was tethered next to its owner's teepee in the heart of the encampment. Here the runner was in danger from only the boldest of horse raiders. Runners shared their pampered lives with horses used on the battlefield. And then it goes into family and clan. The horse brought great changes and ushered in the golden years of the buffalo people of the Great Plains. And throughout their history, one thing remained constant. The Plains Indians were completely devoted to family, unit, and clan. The family was the most treasured possession of all. So family, you know, all our relatives, our four-leggeds, two-leggeds, the horse became that beautiful oneness with the horse, and family, you know, the family is that unit, that clan, and so family was the most treasured possession of all. That family, you know, belonging to family, whether it's blood or not, and that goes for our four-leggeds. You know, may not be directly related by blood, but they are family, just like all of us are family. And so in honor of that horse, honor of the horse, Day of the Horse today, 12/13/2025, but every December 13th is the honoring and the honoring of the horse. That's the National Day of the Horse. And so I just wanted to bring this little video to honor our horses. And I wouldn't have brought it if I wouldn't have come across this book. Nothing is coincidence, as my grandmother Susan says. And so just wanted to bring this little message, honoring our relatives, honoring our horse, bringing a story. We're getting into that time of the year where our stories, we're into storytelling. And also we just had the 12/12 portal. And so we are in this 12/12 portal gateway. And 12/21 we have the winter solstice. And so I also want to just say that 12/12 portal and 12/21. So when you look at 12/12 and 12/21 and you put them on top of each other, it's just a mirror. It's a mirror of each other. So in this time of 12/12 and 12/21, we are in this beautiful mirroring. We are in this newer coming into our next stepping stone. We're coming into more of who you are, coming into more of your wholeness, coming into a balance, because that 12/12 and 12/21 is a balance of each other, because it's a, you put it on top and so you have a balance of each other. So you have 12/12, 12/21. So it's that mirroring, it's that balance. And so when it comes together, you see this beautiful wholeness. And so coming whole into yourself. And so coming into more of who you are, coming into understanding more of who you are too. So it's just knowing, and I want to just to honor those beautiful four-leggeds, our relatives, and honoring, also honoring the Dakota 38+2 ride. That started December 10th. It's a 330-mile ride, starting in, it was Fort Thompson. They ride 330 miles and they go to Mankato, where the Dakota 38 men were hung, and then later 2 more were hung, so now they call it the 38+2. And so honoring those relatives, and honoring the horses and the riders that are on that journey, because they trek through open, across South Dakota, they trek through western Minnesota, open land, and right now we are in this winter. Like tonight, I know it's today was -2 degrees. Tonight it's supposed to drop down to -12 or colder, and that's actual temperature. That is not Fahrenheit. That is not including wind chill factor. So those riders, prayers are being sent to those riders and their families, and to those beautiful four-leggeds relatives of ours, because they are on that journey for healing, and to heal our ancestors of those Dakota 38+2 and that ride. So Miigwech for your riding, and Miigwech for the honoring of those ancestors and relatives of ours. So I just wanted to bring this little message, and so just wanted to bring it in. It's just spontaneous, just like Great Spirit Creator brings all things in due time, or there is no time, because there is no time in the universe. So it's Great Spirit Creator time. So much love to all of you, and hope you have a good day, good evening, or whenever you receive this message. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy just the little honoring of our four-leggeds of the horse and the Horse Nation. So Miigwech and Bamapi. Have a great night.